Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of It's All Related, the podcast that explores intuitive living, working with your guides, all things intuitive in today's world. I'm Sonia Choquette. I'm here with my two beautiful daughters, Sabrina Tully and Sonia Tully. Sabrina's in London. Sonia is in New Orleans. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Mama. Hey, Sis.
Hi, Son.
Hi, Mom. Hi, B.
How is your spirits today, girls?
Oh, I'm a bit four flat tires today, but I'm happy to be on with you guys and with all of our people because I need a little spirit boost. My husband's been traveling for work and both kids have been sick, which means nobody's been sleeping. And that's the quickest way for my spirit to go four flat tires.
Exit the building.
No sleep. Sometimes I have to just remind myself this too shall pass. This time shall pass. But last night, the little one, Ara, was snoring and poor little Sufi had a fever. So between the two of them and Ahmed out of town, I think we were up about every 45 minutes the whole night. And I just thought, this is insane. This is some kind of craziness.
Gosh, just
small kids are it's just like being on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I mean, truly, I don't have kids, but I really do admire, when I think about like love from my higher self or my angels or my guides, I often just think about examples of like you and Mom, of just like the loving, devoted energy, even in our human form, of just like showing up to take care. It's tiring,
Mom,
but it's never mad.
Yeah, Mom definitely with me. I didn't sleep. So whenever I'm in this, I remember that I did not sleep.
I remember one time Sabrina was not a sleeper at all. And
Still not much of a sleeper.
No, you never were. But I remember being so tired. And I was teaching a Heart's Desire workshop at the time. This is back in the days when we taught them in the living room, the very early days. And I remember one woman said, well, I don't really know what your heart's desire is. And I said, well, it's like something you really, really want more than anything. And she goes, well, give me an example. And I said, well, for me, it would be to feel rested. I remember that.
Yeah, that would be if somebody said to me right now, what is your number one heart's desire? What would you just love? It'd be like to just sleep uninterrupted for 8 hours. That would be my number one. And I oftentimes, as Sonia was saying, in those moments when I'm really in the thick of it, I have to pray and ask my guides to help me. I really do. I ask them to help me feel patient and resilient during trying times. I lean heavily on my guides and angels during this time.
Help me, team.
I used to pray. I actually still do pray when I get overloaded. I still ask my guides to help my body be 100% at whatever actual rest it's being given.
Yeah.
I say, I just want my body to feel like it's 100% recharged.
Yeah.
Even though it's had 20 minutes. So
yeah, I have had to learn that. And I've asked my guides and my angels often to just recharge my battery. I remember one time Mom and I were at a TV show recording, and the man was this crazy 70s.
Very peculiar.
He had a long hair. The show was called Bridging Heaven and Earth. And if anybody really wants a good giggle, you can go to watch Sonia Choquette on Bridging Heaven and Earth. We were out in the middle of nowhere in Santa Barbara.
I remember this.
I wasn't there,
but I remember
it. I was homeschooled for high school because I wanted to travel with Mom. And so Mom took me with her to Santa Barbara. And we rented a little car. We got to Santa Barbara. We got in the car. We drove to what was supposed to be the recording studio. Do you remember this, Mom? But we just kept going up and up and up and up and further and further.
We got the wrong address, so we ended up.
No, we got his home
address instead of the studio address.
Yeah, and then we showed up, and it was just in the middle of the woods,
like Twilight Zone.
And the entire house was covered in gnomes.
Like literally gnomes. Probably 2,000.
2,000 gnomes in the middle of the woods staring at us. Now, in a different context, it could have been cool. But we
if
were
it was
scared.
a fairy tale and we were in a movie, but we were scared.
We were
It's like,
scared. We were like, what are we doing in the middle
Where
of
the hell am I?
Right. We were in the middle of the woods. Anyway, we finally got the right address to the right place that we were supposed to be, which was a recording soundstage back down the hill. So we got back in the car. We drove all the way back down the hill. Talk about praying to your guides and angels. In these moments of what in the world are we doing?
we're supposed to be somewhere. We're now a good 40 minutes late. No phone answering.
And you've
Literally
also got a very
navigating.
interesting first impression.
Oh,
And-
we saw this man's home and literal
Which I
dirty
don't
laundry
know.
and
I
literal
don't think that he intended that to happen.
He
but
did not want us there. That was not
We didn't want
supposed to
okay,
happen.
I'm really loving my joke of you didn't want you at the gnome.
Clearly.
No. So then we get back in the car. We finally find out where we're supposed to go. We drive all the way back down the hills of Santa Barbara. We end up in the little town. We end up in the studio. Now the studio is like being transported back to 1979. And this man, honestly,
The whole
what
thing
a
was like Twilight Zone.
character.
He
was
had
character.
a group of people, a group of women that were like his groupies.
Yeah.
And he had his hair in long hair and he wore sunglasses
He had like
indoors.
John Lennon glasses.
God, I love it.
Little God like John
Indoors.
Lennon, had long hair. And he had this Bridging in Heaven and Earth TV show. And God love him. Access Television was doing his thing. But
He was.
Mom and I at this point, we were in the Twilight Zone. And Mom gets on to go have her segment with him. And at this point, we both get the giggles. Something terrible, Mom and I.
It's like laughing in church. It's like laughing at like a very solemn thing you're not allowed to.
We've been up to this man's home. We've seen his gnomes. Now we're in the studio.
With all this,
A woman named Olga is doing Mom's makeup, but the makeup brushes have no makeup on them. So she's just brushing Mom's face with brushes. And it was just so cuckoo, but we were like, okay, we're just rolling with it. We're in it.
We're not going to fight it.
Not
we're
at
just
all.
going to experience
But
it.
why I brought this up is because while Mom was up there, she was speaking to him and she said to him, it's like when you need to charge your battery. and he said, what's a battery? And she said, it's your body battery.
It was a mistake that I made right in the moment.
But it was perfect.
Right.
So in my
And he was
life,
very serious about that. Oh,
yeah.
okay, we're going to charge your battery. And so
Charge your battery. He loved it.
did I start laughing and not recover?
I don't think so. You kept it on the rails. The laughs, the giggles didn't come till we were done. We kept it professional. We kept it professional at the Access Television.
You can see on my face
Oh,
that
yeah.
at any moment I'm about ready to lose it.
It's no eye contact. Mom and I are making zero eye contact with each other in the studio because we know that if we look at the other one, it would have just been too much giggles.
And I believe it was live on top of it.
No, it was recorded. Thank goodness. It was recorded. It was definitely
You can
not.
see this crazy
It's
thing.
wonderful. Bridging Heaven and Earth on YouTube. It's a wonderful trip. For me, sometimes I go down memory lane and I'll watch it because it just makes me laugh. But whenever I need some extra help, I'll ask my guides, please charge my battery.
Ever since then, we now have
Use
the
that
guts
term.
to use that ever
Charge
since.
me up. Charge that battery.
Charge the battery up. It's flat.
Well, you could just see how just like the infusion of like the joy guides of just needing after having the big drive up to the gnome home, back down to just the Twilight Zone.
It was the Twilight Zone gnome home.
It
And we
really
never,
was.
we
Truly.
said, we got the wrong address. We went accidentally to your home. And he just looked at us and he went, you went to my home? And we're like, yes, we went to your home. And then it was this unspoken, we went, we saw.
We saw the gnomes.
And we know.
We know about the gnomes.
And
We've
we're
seen
not
them.
saying a thing.
Well, obviously,
was-
his guides, one of his languages of his guides was
he
little
clearly-
earth fairy angel
What
spirit.
I concluded after that, I think we concluded that he was not a human.
No, but in the
He
best way.
was a gnome
like
and transported his planet to his yard.
He was truly one of those people that you meet and you think, wow, this person is having a completely different version of reality. Like, and look,
And
we
loving it.
as
Love that.
intuitives are having our own different version of reality.
And we're not judging him. We're really
No.
just
I celebrate that.
where have we landed? And how entertaining is this?
I know, I love it when people, and I can find this especially when you're connected to your spirit, that you just, whether you have the language or not, you just don't care what other people
You're doing your thing.
You're just doing your own thing. I saw a video last night on TikTok that I really loved. And there's a big thing around gender reveals. So you have the cake and it's a gender reveal. And she said, I'm using my own personal free will. So I'm going to do my own gender reveal, but I'm not pregnant and I'm not in a relationship just because I have free will. And so she got this cake and asked the baker to just put in a color. And she's talking about, how much she wants a girl, and is laughing because she doesn't obviously have a kid. And what was so delightful was just to see her use the champagne glass to cut in the middle of the cake to find out the gender of her baby, quote unquote. And it's a girl, and her delight when she found out that her fake baby was a girl, how nervous she was. And I thought, I love her spirit and not waiting for permission or timing to create an experience that she's curious about. And
Or that she lives in the literal world alone.
Yeah.
Because
She was like,
we don't. We live in the energetic world, and there is maybe an energetic little spirit coming in for her.
Yeah.
Little
Or
guy.
even totally. It can be so many different things, but of following the flow of energy of what lights you up. Because I can find for myself that my little ego self or my old French school self can pull at the bit. It's like, oh, well, I think of Sufi. Sorry, guys. That's what Sufi was. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I do
having
think
to
that
wait for these
there's-
moments.
Yeah, I do think there's definitely a couple things that popped into my head as you were talking and as we were talking about the gnome home.
The Nomi
journey.
Our homie Nomi.
Our homie Nomi journey that we went on. You know what's interesting to me is it's like, and I see this a lot with Sufi now because she's 5. I'm really noticing this now. How connected to the spirit world she is, in the sense that it's like there's no difference for her between this world, spirit world. She's really into fairies, the fairy world. It's like,
Very much.
and it's not that she has to kind of delineate like, oh, this is real, this isn't real, because it's all real. And to us, it's also all real. For me, my guides and my angels are real. They go with me everywhere I go. Yesterday, I was walking to pick her up from school, and the school nurse called. I love talking to her on the phone when she calls. Sufi calls me from school. There's
School
nothing
best friend.
cuter than
Best
talking.
friend, the nurse. Yeah.
Sufi loves going to the nurse.
She reminds me of someone
does.
else I know.
Reminds me of someone else I know. Adam. She loves going to visit Adam in his office, and he's wonderful, sweet nurse Adam. And Adam said, I've got Sufi here, and she is not feeling well. Would you like to come get her? I said, Adam, I'm on my way right now. And he said, would you like us to give her a little bit of, she's got a slight fever. Would you like us to give her some Tylenol? And I said, yep, Adam, we can give her. I said, well, can I speak to her for a second? Puts her on the phone. And my heart delights in talking to her when she's not. It's just the cutest little voice you've ever heard come through the line. But my point is, when I hung up with her, I'm on my way to get her. I immediately started praying. I immediately said, okay, guys, I don't know what I'm in for. Ahmed's traveling. Baby's also sick. I'm going to need help. I'm going to need backup. I'm going to need you to just give me some support and make today as easeful as possible. And I think that you really taught us that, Mom, to just immediately go to
Instant.
prayer and to genuinely expecting to be met with support from the universe in a moment of challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Go immediate, and that's what I was taught. And I've always been helped.
Oh, yeah.
I don't ever ask for help and not or worry that I will get help. I absolutely know I will be. And if anything, I'm curious how it will come about. Well, my mom taught me we always have help. As you know, we always put the setting out for the angel at the table. We're always talking about who's visiting us, and it's part of our conversation. And Sufi just is right in there. And so whenever you pray, whenever you ask your guides for help, they show up. And some people have written to me and said, well, I thought you were supposed to pray to God. But I think the concept is we're opening up to however the universe wants to support us. But the angels and the guides work for God to help us. So it's not like you're going onto a different channel.
No,
or going in a different department. You don't have to get all up in your head about it.
You don't need to worry about where you route the call. It's like, I think about like a switchboard. When back in the day, you would call, you would tell the switchboard who you were calling, and that's your intention. That's even just your ask. You don't even have to be like, I need a X guide or a Y guide. You just say, hey, I need help. And they'll route the call. They'll be like, all right, we'll connect you to the nature guide, to the runner guide, to the healer guide, to the teacher guide. You just asking and being open.
Everything. When I'm going to teach, we call in the guides and pray right before the classes. When I write, I call in the guides. When I coach, I call in the guides. When I go for a walk through the park, I call in the guides. Today I walked through Regent's Park and I asked the guides to just help me notice something really wonderful in nature, because it's such a beautiful wildlife sanctuary in the middle of London. I no more asked with 2 seconds later, I saw 2 families of geese with 14 geese chicklets. What do you call them? Chicklets? Ducklets? Geese ducklings?
Ducklings?
Chicklets. I think those are the gum.
That's the gum.
I took a picture. They were like, because I no more said that in my mind than turned the corner. There they were.
Right.
And not only that, usually when there's little geeslings.
Little chicklets.
There we go. That's the
word. There's a little bit of a crowd. Someone will have noticed them. They don't get too close because geese can be very aggressive in protecting their babies.
Geese babies.
Nobody was there. And I counted 14. So I thought, well, man, you really brought me, not only did you help me, but you knew what I was going to ask for before I asked, because I changed my normal route even before I asked.
I love it.
So here I was. And that's how it works. Your guides, they know in advance, but you'd have to ask.
Well, yeah.
And the ask is really to bring your own attention to the support you're looking for, and so that you do notice when you get it.
Exactly. It's having to be receptive by paying attention and not letting the intellect play. We can think, I think like a lot of times with, when I'm talking to my clients or people, they're like, there's the classic sign of your guides, repeating numbers or feathers, or what are some of the other ones that are like the most popular?
Well, here's one I do enjoy is people say my books jump off of bookshelves and hit them in the head in bookstores.
Well, that's a
Flying
different
books.
thing, because I'm just saying of expanding our awareness, because even just the input, look for numbers, look for feathers, look for whatever that can limit your view.
I also think you should look for earth angels. I think that if you have if you need guidance, often your guides will send a human.
Oh, absolutely.
Who would just show up to say, just be the perfect human that can be helpful to you.
And we have to look for the energy, because it's not that they just have 1 or 2 modes of numbers or pennies, but as we start to ask,
raining on you.
Yeah, and ask, and like asking. And I remember I listened to a part of a part of a podcast, part of a video. I have to find it, but it was a woman who was a monk, and she was talking about prayer as a way to humble your ego in asking for help and opening up to more than what we know? You know, because often if I'm praying for something, whether it's a parking spot or help with an earth angel or whatever, I'm telling my intellect, I'm telling my barking dog, get out the way. More things are coming. And in asking, it trains my little pet to be in service to my spirit, to be like, okay, my job is to help you notice and pay attention.
Hello, my sweet friends. It's Sonia Tully. And here's one thing I know for sure. Your head and your heart are meant to be the best of friends. And when you live life inside out, your head and heart are one. Being an intuitive, connected soul is all about remembering who you are and uncovering your gems. It is my mission to help you trust your intuition so that you plug back in and reconnect to your authentic self. Check out my soul readings. We'll look deeply at your soul lessons and find your purpose. We'll answer your big burning questions like, what is holding me back in life? Or what's the right job for me? We'll look at what's going on for you right now and give you grounded steps to bring your life into alignment with your true self. There is nothing more that I love than helping people live spontaneously and awaken their inner guide. I can't wait to help you come home. Visit my website, soniatully.com, to learn about the ways I can work with you so that you'll dance through life with clarity and confidence.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably the greatest gift, one of the tremendous greatest gifts you've ever given us, Mom, is the awareness to ask for support. I think that that's always what sticks out to me when I'm working with clients or even just friends in my life, when I'm talking to them about the universe and they want to start talking to their guides and their angels. They want to start to open up. You really gave us a foundation or like a framework to understand that we had this network of support that was available at any moment, big or small, whether it was we were struggling with something kind of existential and internal, or whether it was just, I need help finding the right doctor, or I need help finding the right, kind of earth angel person, or I need a solution for like me last night of exhaustion, like that there's just this automatic internal framework of support that I genuinely expect from the universe. I expect to be supported, and whatever I'm struggling with, let's say I'm having a moment and I'm praying and nothing's coming. Sometimes the message I'm getting is the thing that you're wanting is really, there's something better for you than what you have planned.
100%. This is an interesting thing that my guides helped me with. I got invited, and I'm really excited about this, to go to LA in October just to Louise Hay's 100th birthday celebration.
Right. She is now in spirit form on the other side.
She is in spirit form, and we talk all the time. We share a birthday, so we have a special bond. And anyway, the world, as we know, is a little bit wonky, so I booked a ticket to go, and it was really, really expensive. So I'm, and Hay House was going to bring me because it was an event that I'll be speaking at, but I still was being conscientious and thought, wow, that is really expensive. So I booked it and I put it on hold, and then I called them and said, okay, I'm booking this ticket. It's really expensive. And they said, well, we understand. It's just what's going on in the world. Go ahead and book it. So I went ahead and booked it because I put it on hold. And I went ahead and paid for it, but it did not go through. And usually it'll go through instantly. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, well, maybe it's a glitch for one day, and then maybe it's a glitch for 2 days. And then I got an email from them saying, you have to call. Something went wrong with your ticket. You weren't ticketed. Please call. So then I said to my angels and guides, you have to help me. Yeah. Because it was already so expensive. And now if there's, if it's not even going to be available, just help me. So I called them yesterday, but I called my guides first. I always call my travel agents, and I called my travel agents to help me. And I said, I'm going to call
I thought
them.
you said travel agents.
I know.
Travel
Like, you have
angels.
travel. Yeah,
I know.
You're
I have
travel agent angels.
Angel agents. Agents
Okay,
that are
keep
angels.
going, keep going,
But
keep
anyway,
going.
I called, but I intentionally asked, please help me. And this is another thing I learned from working with guides. I said, surprise me with something good. So I got on and she answered and I was on hold forever. And then she said, well, it looks like that ticket was somehow unavailable and it expired. I'm going to put you on hold. Hold for 25 minutes. And I just kept saying, give me something good. And she came back and said, I have good news. We got your ticket. And I said, that's so great. Thank you, angels. And then she said, and it's half price.
Oh,
Half price.
oof.
Thousands of dollars saved. Half price. I was like, boy, you guys really delivered. Thank you. Whoever from an airline's going to call back and say, not only did you get the ticket that you didn't get, but we're giving it to you for half of what you ordered it for.
That's fabulous. But I think, again, Mom, what's so beautiful about that story is like you were totally willing and completely available for the universe to work and conspire for your success.
Yeah, that's, I think, the key is like, and I've taught you both, expect something good. Because our brains go into panic mode in the worst case scenario, and it's all going to be awful and worse than we can imagine. But when you're working with higher frequencies in your spirit and angels and guides, expect something good. Create the room to have them help you.
Absolutely.
It's a mindset and a heart set.
Yeah. And to that point, I find that sometimes with my clients who I mentor, sometimes people who I do readings for, it's that they came in as very sensitive, intuitive, empathic, almost like ugly little geeslings in their family, and use their intuition a lot to help others because they were just very attuned. They could feel the frequency and they weren't in the habit of asking for help. I find a good practice too, if you want help with your angels and your guides, just even in your day-to-day, just be aware of how much we open up for help and support. Because even just from asking other people, as Mom's talking about earth angels, it's like when we can open up for that, then someone else can come in with the perfect solution, the perfect thing. But we have to make space and not have the pet say, oh, well, sorry, guys, we already know the outcome. Sorry, guys. You know, it's
Totally.
gonna be drama on the phone.
It's a heart set of just living in a different frequency.
It's an open-mindedness and a heart set. I think it's open mind, heart set, frequency.
And every single thing you need help in, you can ask for help.
Well, this reminds me, when I was in, I think it was my junior year of college, I wanted to go back to Portland, Oregon for the summer. And Sabrina and I had a Mazda 3, a black Mazda 3 that I absolutely loved more than anything in the whole wide world. And at my college, we had to drive my car back from Chicago to Portland. I did. That was like my house. That was my house. It was my freedom. I used to keep cases of water in the trunk with snacks. I mean, I could have opened a bodega. I had everything.
You did.
I had
it was
everything.
Bodega.
It was.
I
It was
very
the bodega.
rarely rode around in that car. That was very much your unique, individual identity car. I genuinely think until we went on that road trip, I had been in that car a handful of times.
He probably. As I was trying to individuate, also I was my mom, you guys laughed that I was like Bambi with fangs because I was like, I'm a moody teenager, leave me alone. But then really I was just sweet. I'm leaving. And then I would call and be like, I'm at Jamie's house. I'm mad. I'm at Jamie's house. And then I would still be home by like 9 p.m. at the curfew time.
You were like a good girl cosplaying as a bad girl.
Yeah. I was like Sandy from Grease, you know?
Yeah,
I was Sandra Dee.
We were on our big adventure.
I was very controlling about driving the car. The night before I left, I went out with my friends, was up late, wake up, and Sabrina and I set off on our multi-day road trip to Oregon.
From Chicago to Oregon,
multi-day road trip. We get on the highway. We're
Talk
riding.
about angels.
And I'm tired. And Sabrina,
No,
enough.
Wait, back up. You had gone out the night before.
That's what I said.
Big party, having my friends. You had been.
We're never going to see each other ever again. You know?
Exactly.
Like, we
so
gotta
you
have
had
our
been
last
living
hurrah.
it up that night before. So
Right.
we get on the road the next day, but you were very fatigued. You were very, very fatigued.
And so we're about an hour and a half in. Sabrina is very kind. She's like, hey, do you want me to drive? Now, I was very controlling about the car. So I'm like debating, fine, pull off. Sabrina gets on, takes the wheel, and we're cruising. I say, I'm going to close my eyes. Pull the chair back, closing my eyes. Go ahead.
Cut to, I'm driving this car. I am
falling asleep.
Sonia's just falling asleep. I am on the 4th lane of a 4-lane highway, and Sonia's just falling asleep. And in front of us, a semi-truck, one of its wheels explodes.
The tire.
It flies up into the air. The tire explodes. It flies up into the air. The tire. It's exploded. And I am on a busy highway, and I have nowhere to go. This tire is coming for us, Final Destination style, and I have to make a decision in the moment what I'm going to do. And I decided.
Meanwhile, you're driving big sister's baby, like prize possession.
More
car,
important than your car was our lives.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
Our lives were at risk.
I know.
We could have literally, both of us died, perished. I mean, if I made a wrong move in that moment, so the wheel flies up in front of us straight. It's like a ribbon of wheel at this point. It flies up like a ribbon of wheel. It's coming towards the windshield of the car, and I'm like, my intuition, my guides were like, hold steady, like don't swerve to try to avoid this. Just go over this. It lands right in front of us, and I drive over the wheel as it's landed. But
bump, jump. I wake up, duh. Boom.
Yeah, because we've just driven over, going 75 miles an hour over a semi-truck wheel.
And now I pop up, look at Sabrina, and there's the most terrible, and we're going 70 miles an hour, and I'm like, Sabrina, what happened?
Trying to find the words for, I just saved our lives.
Yeah,
I just saved our lives. We almost just died, and we're not dead, and we're alive right now. So I know you're upset with the car.
You're like, a tire exploded.
A tire exploded. I had to drive over the tire to avoid death by vehicle. And now there's a horrific sound, and we're an hour and a half outside. Now signal, because by the way, guys, I'm a great driver.
You are.
Okay? I'm an excellent Virgo, type A Virgo driver. I drive I'm always not too close. I've never been in an accident. I've never even had a parking ticket ever in my whole driving career.
You've had a parking ticket. You grew up in Chicago.
I have never had a moving vehicle parking ticket. I've never had you were going too fast, you blew a stop sign. I've of course had like you overstayed your welcome at this, you didn't pay your meter. Yeah. But I've never had a parking ticket because I was poorly driving.
No.
So anyway, my point is, we pull over, we get off the highway, I signal, we get over, we pull up, and Sonia is so distressed over her car. I'm still trying to just exhale that I've saved our lives.
Right. I'm concerned about the car, but also I didn't really get it.
Sonia didn't really understand.
We're now in the middle of nowhere.
Our frontal cortex were not formed yet. We were very young.
And we were like 4 hours out. And we're in a cornfield. There is nothing. We pull off into this gas station. It's just like this tiny oasis. There's one pump. It's nothing.
It was not even working. It wasn't like a non-working, a kind of an abandoned gas station. Service station. So nobody was there.
So first thing we were going to, it's like, we're going to call mom and dad, because now I think the car is totaled out in the sticks. And we both start to pray. We're like, let's ask our angels. So we're calling mom, dad, and this gentleman walks over, and he's like, oh, Sabrina shares what happened. We tied her over the wheels. Terrible noise. He's like, well, I'm a mechanic. He pulled
up in his pickup truck.
But the first man, he pulled, he was already there, and he looks at the car. He looks underneath the car, and he says to both of us, look, I am so sorry. I'm a mechanic. Your car is totaled. You need to get this towed. It's going to take time. And both of us were like, crap. Oh, crap.
Right.
So, but then we started to pray. And
We
we
did.
pray and
We
asking our
started
angels.
praying
And Mom said,
for our
ask your
angels.
angels for help. Ask your angels for help. And out of nowhere, this little jackety little white pickup truck pulls into the parking lot.
He comes whipping around. I remember he comes whipping around sees us, drives right up to us, parks his car, and he gets out of the car. He's
Y'all
kind
ladies
of
need some help.
salt and pepper haired. Looks like he's in his 50s, maybe early 60s, man. Do you need some help? And we say, we've driven over a semi-wheel. Something is seriously wrong with the car.
We think we need a tow truck. We think we need a tow truck. We're trying to find out. We're waiting for our parents. And he says, hold on. Where are you ladies headed? And we said, we're going to Oregon. And he has a laugh and he says, I've actually been banned from the state of Oregon. When I was in high school, I sold a bunch of weed and got caught. And the police told me that I could leave. I could either go to jail or leave and never come back. And he had a twinkle in his eye.
No,
and
he did. He was totally an angel. Totally an angel.
He looks underneath the car from our first gentleman who's like absolutely not totally broken. He goes, give me a second, pops into his car, grabs a few different zip ties with there's a plastic cover that protects all of the under mechanics.
What he did though was cut off a part of it. Don't you remember we rode with a part of the undercarriage of the car? He zip tied a part of the car and he cut off a part of the undercarriage, which was just a plastic sheet protecting the undercarriage.
But to that, then the car was fixed and we were on our way. And that was 100% an earth angel. I mean, it was fixed in two seconds. And just I remember just the twinkle in his eye and the brightness of his spirit and being in so much overwhelm of like, my car, we're stuck, Mom, all of it. And just the moment that he kind of got out of that white pickup truck, it was like, we have help. Help has arrived. I don't know what that means, but
absolutely. He was there. He was a manifestation of an angel. He was our angel manifested.
I swear, he was part of the group of angels that guided you through the tire and off the highway.
No, we were because I lived the tire flying up in front of us and saw our lives flash. Sonia was lucky to be having a little shut eye in that moment because I saw our lives playing out in front of us and thought, oh my God, and from that moment of the guys just saying like, angel saying, hold steady, just hold steady, go over the tire is so crazy that I didn't swerve to avoid it.
I know that was an angel right there.
For real, because often, we react.
Makes my heart.
Look, we were protected from one end to the other. Then we got back in the car and Sonia drove a lot of the way of the trip. She didn't let me drive. Although I still think I deserve quite a bit of credit for saving our lives.
It was. You absolutely do. You absolutely
the angels. I mean,
do.
it was me and the angels. It wasn't just me. They were the ones who told me, just hold steady, don't swerve, go over this tire.
Well, just in that,
we did have angels all the way.
And that's really pretty smart. You know that was a guide because you were like 6 or 17.
Yeah, we were
young.
Who
knows how to manage a crisis like that on the highway?
No.
When you're not even a long-term driver.
Divine intervention. It was certainly a moment of divine intervention. We got back on the car and we had a pretty uneventful trip after that. Like we were able to get ourselves all the way to Portland after that experience. But yeah, it is. It's just being totally open and completely available to being met at any given moment with support from the universe.
Yeah. And again, we're talking about, if you're looking for signs, if you're looking for ways that your guides connect to you, whether it's people or, we have numbers, feathers, but also what resonates with you. My bestie, Haley, her dad passed away over a decade ago. And I remember one time she was talking about being she lived in Anacortes, Washington. She was at the forest and she was wanting to connect with her dad. She was walking through the forest looking for a sign. And there they have these beautiful trees. And then they have all of this kind of licca that grows right off of it. And so she was thinking about him when all of a sudden, I believe it was a hawk, or I think it was a bald eagle, which was something that her dad was a fisherman. She sees in the forest, boom, and then as she's like, I really want, is this my dad? Is this a sign? It was one single little piece of this lichen kind of just came down just like right into her hand. And I'm like, yes, that is your sign from your guide. It was in the moment, paying attention. You get the response, and it might, but again, it's what resonates. It's what resonates.
And it's also if you're gonna allow things to be magical and mystical versus be logical and dismiss it.
Truly.
I personally think people get signs all the time, daily, because we are surrounded by guides. But if you have a very literal, logical, 3D, that's the only thing that's real, you're not going to have any of the magic. And that's what Einstein said. You can live as though everything's a miracle or nothing's a miracle.
Absolutely.
You know, pick your team, pick your reality. So
I guess for me, I think that the thing that, again, that you did, just to toot your horn again, Mom, that was so helpful for me, and I'm trying to instill this in the girls as well, is it's just being completely available to whatever the magic of the moment is. So it's like, I very rarely get hung up on what kind of guide, is it an angel? I genuinely don't really think much about that. I'm much more interested in what is the unconditional love and support that I'm receiving in this moment, and being fully available to whatever that is in the moment to moment. Like even in the middle of the night last night when both girls kept waking up and I couldn't sleep and I couldn't fall back asleep. And I've been having this really funny experience where my headphones are possessed. I have these noise canceling headphones. Mom very lovingly bought me a pair of noise canceling headphones to help me unwind.
Because the baby snores.
The baby snores when she gets a cold, and she snores something crazy. Don't worry, we've been to the ENT. It's just
a cold.
She doesn't have any blockages or anything, but she does snore like a trucker. And so when she has a cold, so I've got these noise canceling headphones that it just drowns it out enough that I can still hear her, but it's not so loud that
you're
I
very
feel like
attuned. You're very attuned to the girls.
It just gives me a tiny bit of buffer between myself and her snore so that I can rest, even just relax. But the funny thing recently is my headphones started to become completely possessed in the middle of the night and start, just the first thing that came through was, I was in the middle of the night, I was trying to unwind, and then these two men's voices started talking on my headphones. And I like jumped up because I didn't expect it. It sounded like two men were in the room. So I jumped up and it was like, oh, it's my headphones talking. And I turned them off and then I turned them back on and it stopped. And I thought, okay, fine. It's like, it's no big deal. Whatever. I won't think twice about it. Maybe they just like crossed signals with somebody else. They're obviously Bluetooth wireless headphones. So then the next day I'm back in my room again, trying to take a nap with these headphones on, trying to put on my white noise. And white noise starts. And then about 20, 30 seconds in, this booming voice starts talking to me about Jesus and says, this is the real story of Jesus, whose name was Yeshua. And I was like, what is happening? Yeah. But in my mind, it was Yeshua. Because I was like half awake. I was like, what's happening? Joshua, the original name. Anyway, so I'm like, what is going on? My headphones. And then again, 2 nights ago, I got the headphones on. And now all of a sudden, this voice is coming in again, telling me all about their programs. Anyway, I had to laugh because I was like, okay, these headphones are sort of a metaphor for me right now. Like, I can't rest. No matter what, these headphones just keep waking me up. Like the headphones took on a bit of almost a comedy to me from the guides of like, I'm awake anyway. And now I'm getting like, the guides and the angels are having fun with me because they're like, we're going to start bringing you the most random interceptions from guides and angels. And so every day I'd come upstairs and to Mom and I'd be like, guess what the headphones were talking about today? And it was just like silliness, but it was the comic relief that I really kind of needed in the middle of the night to break up the tension.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking of something funny. I'm thinking that some people, they just start channeling, like Seth Speak starts channeling with the Ouija board. And another person kind of goes into a trance, or I kind of channel, but Sabrina, all she has to do
Turn the headphones.
is to put on her headphones.
Just turn on
and
those
in
headphones.
comes many spirit guides from some other.
Honestly, I've had like massive visitations from my spirit guides through these headphones. And I said to Mom, like, part of me wants to reset the headphones so that it stops because I actually do need to rest. But another part of me is really enjoying it's like the musical stylings of the guides. It's going to be, it's like
jazz.
a musical medley. It's like going to a jazz medley with the guides. Like, who are they going to roll out today for me to make me laugh? And the other thing that's so crazy about it is the volume at which that it comes through. It's not like it's the same volume my headphones are at. It's blasting. So the volume of whatever is coming through is full volume. And it just made me laugh. I'm like, okay, I've had Jesus as a visitor. I've had a couple
You're
guides.
like, come on in,
Yeah,
come
I'm just
on
like,
in.
everybody
I'm up
come on
already.
in. Use the headphones as a portal. The portal is open, you know? Portal is open. You come on down.
Well, that just goes to show you, if you're going to be connecting with your angels and guides, don't get hung up on how. Just know that they're going to find a way. And if you want a message or you want a signal, a lot of people want the sign, then be present and be willing to give credit to things that your logic brain might dismiss.
Well, when it was the one that came through in the middle of the day, I was really like, okay, I am going to turn off these headphones because I do need a nap. Like, message received. I've heard. I got it. But it made me laugh.
Sabrina said they first happened when we went away for the weekend to the country because the girls had a week off and it was just this little kids place the kids could go and she said she was in the hotel, the end of the corridor, and she said that's when they first came on.
Yeah, that's when the headphones
in the daytime. You were taking a nap in the
headphones
daytime.
Begin to speak. It was literally like they just
I'm thinking
started,
of a little shrine.
I know.
Everybody comes to a little shrine and there's
everybody sits around the headphones. What's coming through today?
Then she puts
what's going through today. But it made me laugh
funny.
because I literally was like, okay, guys, okay, Jesus, I am going to turn you off now because I really am. I have an hour here where the kids are at the pool and I really could use a nap. So I am going to acknowledge the magical headphones. I will be turning them off. I will be powering these down. It's a bit too much for this moment.
I love that.
So anyway, let's
let it be magic.
But I was going to say this: if for our listeners who are, what are we'll go around. What are some of the very first ways that they themselves can start to open up and experience this connection, or find their own unique ways of their own sign guides? Signpost, guideposts.
Well, I would say start by acknowledging all the ways you have been helped and your life has somehow worked out when you thought it wouldn't. When you worried about something and then you're 3 months down or 2 weeks out and you look back and you think, that really did work out. And then see if something unusual kind of entered the scene. Because I think that's the biggest way to start recognizing the hidden forces of help that are going on all the time behind the scenes.
I love that. How about you, Sabrina?
I would say absolutely, like piggybacking off of what Mom says, start to keep some kind of journal or daily log where you notice the magic, whether it be, I have a lovely, sweet girlfriend who lives here. Her name's Holly. And she started keeping a log of everything she was thinking about or doing whenever she sees repeating numbers. And we were laughing because she started the log and literally every time it was either she was thinking about fashion or talking about it. It was always
fashion guides.
And we were saying she was like, maybe I should start my own fashion line or fashion company. And I was like, I think that would bring you the most joy. Like that actually would be the biggest surprise from the universe to do this, so I think there is something really beautiful about beginning to just keep a log or keep notes and start to string together what you're noticing, whether it be repeating numbers, or sometimes people will hear songs. Sometimes I just get sort of a flash in my mind of a song. Like my guides often talk to me through songs. So all of a sudden I'll have like a song pop into my head, and I think, okay, that's a message from my guides that I'm getting. So just keeping some sort of grounded log for yourself on your phone, on your notes app, that I do think it just gives you, especially if you're beginning here, a real sense of, oh, right, this is real. Like I am noticing the connections, and it's very much real.
Absolutely. I love both of those. And I would add too, for myself, one of the ways that I would encourage you is, in your own way, be your own little earth angel. If you see somebody who needs help, whether it's opening a door, whether it's with groceries, whether it's just noting somebody in front of you at the grocery store, giving them a genuine compliment, it connects us to our heart space to be loving. And that instantly can raise our frequency to be more guideable, and is a fun way to pay attention. As Nana would say, the world loves a lover. And I find that the more that I can be in that energy, like the more that I notice my guides, the more that I see, and it gets reflected back.
That's good advice. Both of those are really good suggestions. And to know that if you get an impulse to be helpful, that's your guide telling you to help them, help someone, for example.
Yeah.
Or if you get the numbers, or you get, I think numbers are transmissions. I think they're direct energies that are really, really communicating. Like even today, when I looked at the ducks, I looked at my phone and it was 11:22, and I thought, of course.
The chicklets?
Right,
the chicklets.
Yeah.
The chicklets, because they weren't ducks, they were geese. The geeselings. I don't know what they are.
What do we go? But I like chicklets. I'm going to forever. I'm going to call them chicklets.
But I do. But it was at 11:22. That's a master number. The 11 and the 22 were two divine master numbers, and I said, of course, out loud.
Yeah.
So if you do have a guided experience, say, of course, out loud.
Thank you.
It's an affirmation that this is the way it works for me.
Well, I have so loved talking to both of you today. This has been I feel so much better at the end of the conversation than I did 4 flat tires at the beginning. Also just a point of like how when we talk about our guides and our spirit guides and our angels, how affirming it is. But I do have to run because I have to take care of those 2 little ones that are both needing me. But you two are going to stay and finish the question of the week. And I love you both, and I love you all very much.
I love you.
Bye-bye.
I
love
you. So much fun. So much fun. You can just feel, even when you talk about it, how the energy, the vibe raises and just makes it even more guidable. So now we actually have our question of the week. If you want to write us, you can write us at itsallrelatedpodcastquestions@gmail.com or vibecheck@soniatully.com. You can find those both in the show notes. And this week we have a question from our beautiful listener, Maya. Maya says, I'm 34 from Seattle, and I've been listening for about 6 months, and I'm obsessed. Quick question. I'm like, also, we're so happy to have you, Maya. Welcome to the family. Quick question. Sometimes when I'm about to make a decision, I get this sudden wave of calm that washes over me completely out of nowhere. No thoughts, just stillness. It only lasts a few seconds. Is that spirit giving me a green light, or am I just reading too much into a random physical sensation? It's probably happened about a dozen times now, and every time I've followed that feeling, it has worked out. But my logical brain keeps telling me I'm making things up. Would love your take. Thanks, Maya.
So Maya, as a teacher, I am going to ask you, what's the answer? Because you know. And that, in fact, you're not really asking the question. You just need some affirmation. So I'm going to affirm what you know, that this is your beautiful, loving spirit and spirit guides letting you know everything's okay. It's divine support and reassurance, and what we need to do is get your little chihuahua to quit barking.
Yeah.
Because it's robbing you of such beautiful I will say your spirit and guides are very persistent, and I'm grateful to see that, because you say it keeps happening. So thank goodness your little chow chow hasn't, shut the channel off. And I would say when that happens, say thank you. And of course this is happening, and thank you. That's how I would respond, instead of look for logical evidence of your divine experience. This is a divine experience. So just let yourself have it.
Yeah. And I love that. And just what you're saying to this, Maya, we get so conditioned that we need to look for affirmation outside of ourselves. But if you really slow down and look at the clues of the energy, the sensation, the solution, the arc, that we don't need to give that to food for our pet to debate whether it's right or wrong. It's not about that, but instead think of it as this is education. We're updating the software for our pet, that this is normal, instead of getting into that dogfight. And the one thing that I've really loved about being in Mom's classroom, it's just my favorite, and just how we've been taught to teach and coach, is as like the listener, you know your guidance, the solution, the wisdom. Sometimes we have to get some pieces to be able to hear it, but trust that, because that's trusting in yourself. And it's a quantum leap, even if we're recalibrating to our innate language. So keep enjoying those beautiful, beautiful moments. They won't go away. They'll only become more regular in your life. I love that. Well, I love you, Mom. Thank you so much to all of our listeners. If you like our podcast, please help us rate, subscribe, leave us a comment, share with a friend, write us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time. And I love you, Mom.
Love you too, sweetheart. See you in class.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.